you can get lucky 4 times in a row. You can get lucky 20 times in a row. And that 21st time, you blow it up. I've seen it. I've done it. Are you losing money in the market constantly? Well, I don't know if I can help you with that, but in this video, we're gonna review another swing short that I did. Guys, I've done swing shorts every day. I actually did a swing short last night, so we're not gonna talk about last night's swing short. Today is Thursday. We're gonna talk about the swing short coming into Wednesday. Another great swing short. So we're gonna review the macro, and then we'll zoom down to the 15-minute chart. If you're new here, my name is Forrest. I invest in stuff, and I believe that everybody should too. I have a Discord, right? Partnered up with a buddy of mine named Soul, an amazing day trader. Definitely check it out. It is a paid group, but you know, you can get a free trial. Pop in there. Link is down in the description. Go ahead and click it now if you want to improve your trading, guys. There's no silver bullet to any of this. I'm gonna tell you right now. So if you're expecting a magic strategy or some way to instantly make a ton of money, this is not that, right? What we will do is give you really good insights into the markets. We do a lot of analysis of volume, right? Volume at price, looking at the volume profile, understanding trend, macro trend analysis. We also do a lot of scalping, stuff like that, right? So regardless of how you trade, if you want to trade futures, you can trade options, whatever you want to do, you get some really, really good analysis as well as really good commentary and coaching on how to actually manage your capital and not lose too much of it. So there's that little spiel. Let's go ahead and take a look at the day. So we're going to use TradeZilla. If you haven't used TradeZilla before, it's just an app to journal your trades. I am not affiliated with them or anything like that. I just use it. It's a great tool. I'm always peeking over the camera in this. Welcome to my trading channel. Anyways, let's take a look here. So here's the trade, right? $1,247. The trade, last video I just did, we did $1,500, right? One contract, one in queue. So let's actually talk about why this is important, right? So trading light leverage, we didn't go crazy with, 4 or 5 contracts, made $1,300, right? Which if we just did that, the daily rate of $1,300, right? So let's do the actual number, 1,247 times 252. There's 252 trading days in a year. That's $314,000 annualized. Now, that's assuming you do that on average every day, but that's a really good day, guys. It's a really good amount of money to make on a day. I know a lot of people are trying to make a ton of money, right? You're going to have big pops in your P&L. You're going to have days where you make, $14,000. You're going to have red days, right? But on average, that's a really, really good P&L. Happy with the day. And this was also an overnight trade. This was just one of the few trades that I took on the day, and this was a swing overnight short. So let's actually look at the setup, see what happened. So we can see my entry here was at 15,505, and my exit should be a buy somewhere later, but TradeZilla is doing this thing where it doesn't show me my trades correctly again. All right, we're gonna have to look at this on TradingView, but there's my entry going short, right? So I sold to open at 15,505, and then I bought to close at 15,443. So 505, 443. See, that's not showing up correctly on the chart here, but if we scroll down, we can actually see the entry and exit here. 15,505, 15,443 on September 5th, right? 5th going into 6th. So let's actually just look at this on the chart. So we want to look at ES, and we'll start on the 15-minute. There's a few things that I want to show you here. So this short coming into on Wednesday here was, I'm looking at, this is ES. We want to look at NQ. Make a lot of sense. Here it is. So see this wick right here? This wick right here was also a cam pivot, right? So cam pivots are great levels, but we can actually just see where this structure is right here. So let me just do a line for you. So we have this structure here from Tuesday the 5th, which was also a cam pivot, and we wicked overnight. This was at 3:15, 3 o'clock, right? The 3 a.m., there's always an influx of volume, right? Around 2:30 to 3, there's an influx of volume into the market. Look, you stay up late, you can see it. So I basically got in at 505, which is right around here. 505 right around here. We see that I was red. So I got in, it went against me, and then I got very profitable down here. So there was another cam level up here, and I set my stop past the cam pivot. Now I could have stayed up and waited to get a better entry. Could have got in here, but I didn't want to. I basically had my thesis. I figured we'd come down to here. I had an acceptable stop, right? Acceptable loss that I was willing to take, a couple $100 points or a couple $100. It's like 20 points here. Ended up being, 15 points in the red, which is what, $300. And then, risking 300 for, 1,300 which is what I got. So in an RR perspective, really, really good trade. Let's actually talk about why I took this trade. So why did I go short? Well, if we look at the session volume profile, we can see here that we had this POC up here. We closed below it, bearish, right? So we moved away from the POC at the end of the day. And then on the macro chart in general, we can see that we're in this downtrend. Obviously, it's very, very down now, but we're coming out on this downtrend. We have a huge skinny belly over here. right? Huge skinny belly on the volume profile, huge skinny belly on the volume profile. Came through this node now. We're coming down, and just FYI, I do think we're still going to come down further. You see that we bounced really at this cliff here, right? So we came into, actually, if we draw it over here, we came into right here, and then we bounced here. It's pretty common for the volume profile. This is the 4-hour chart on ES. If we look at NQ, see where we are. We bounced right up in this node here, right? So we came through, we bounced here, right? Went through this area, bounced here. Huge candle, right? Traded right through it. So that's the thesis. I basically was looking for us to come, and we want to do this sweep. So this is before that. We just took this out today, but I was looking for that play, right? I should have been short this entire time, actually, which is a whole other thing. Me analyzing my trades, I was actually calling for us to be short, like right up here, and I could have caught, over 500 points. I didn't, but I still got that short overnight as a little overnight swing, but I definitely could have taken a larger swing, and that's, 500 points with one contract is 10 grand, right? So I could have made 10 grand instead of 1,200, but that's the reason why I went short. So very simple trade. If you're not familiar with the volume profile, these nodes here, right? The volume profile just shows you volume at price. So the further out that these go, right, there's more volume at this price. And volume just means participation. So if there's more volume at a price, there's more people participating there. And so you can expect them to participate again. And what will happen is many times is that we'll bounce, we'll either fly through these areas, or we bounce off of them, right? And we see that this is a pretty, like the angle, this valley is kind of like this, and we just flew through it. And then as we got to here, which is a little bit steeper, we bounce. That happens on every time frame. You kind of have to have market awareness and read price action to kind of understand what it's going to be. But you also just have to think in probabilities, right? What is the probability that we bounce here versus just, flying through it based off of what I'm seeing on every time frame, right? This is the 4-hour. Well, let's take a look at the 8-hour, its volume profile. Let's take a look at the 1 day, its volume profile, right? We have this trend line coming. We're approaching this trend line. As we move the visible range, we can see that the POC is lower. It's lower no matter really where you look, right? So even though we've been accumulating up here, there's the point of control, the area with the most volume at a price is still lower really no matter where you look, which is important, right? So even when we just come here and we're just looking at the volume across this range of prices, the POC is still a bit lower down here at 44.20. And then we have this valley down here, which would be a perfect double bottom. We came down here. This would be a perfect double bottom right into this area. So that's my quick macro analysis. You don't have to go crazy with it, right? There's other layers of this that you can add. We were actually just talking in the Discord today about, one of the guys in there was doing some back testing just around, times that we leave the range and, stay within the range and all of that, looking at the opening range and yada, 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 depending on where you look, where you open and close based off of like imbalances. All of that, in my opinion, is secondary to just being able to understand the narrative naturally, right? And that just comes through time on the charts, being able to look at these things, right? So overall, TradeZilla only gave me a 2.5. Not really sure how the scoring works. I was happy with the trade. Very good setup, in my opinion. You can see that I got 62.5 points without risking too much, right? And I've went short every single day this week just based off of that macro analysis, and it's worked out very well for me. I've had 4-figure days every day. This is just one trade. I took a few more trades on the day, but yeah, 4-figure days every single day this week so far. Really great week for me. In general, I do want to end this video talking just about risk for you. If you are struggling to be consistent, right? If you have big days in particular, there's a few people I'm thinking of that have really big green days and then they blow it all up because you're not handling your capital. It does not matter how much money you make, guys. I have made, and I say it on Discord all the time, I've made hundreds of thousands of dollars in a day. I've also lost hundreds of thousands of dollars in a day before, right? I've done all the crazy stuff you can do in trading. Consistency is important, as well as being able to mitigate downside risk. It doesn't matter if you make $1 million today, if you lose $1 million tomorrow. It literally doesn't matter. And the more flippant that you are with your trading and your emotions and your style, the more likely that is to happen. So you need to be really careful with how you trade, and you think about your capital, and you need to protect your capital. You can get lucky 4 times in a row. You can get lucky 20 times in a row. And that 21st time, you blow it up. I've seen it. I've done it. That's why I'm not impressed on single day gains. So if you're like, hey, look, I look at your trade and the setup looks crazy and you just got lucky, the price moved in your direction. Unless you're telling me you're going to pay yourself immediately and not trade the next day the exact same way, it doesn't mean anything. So you need to be really smart with your capital, really smart with your risk. Understand that if you do high leverage scalping, you're gonna get burned. I can literally just basically promise you that you're gonna get burned if your trading style is high leverage scalping. In any case, hopefully this is a little bit evidence that you can take it a little bit slower, go a little bit wider, use higher time frames and still make a good amount of money. But my name's Forrest. I invest in stuff. You should too. See you in the next one. Peace.